Hey, welcome back. If you're new here, my name's Rox. You'll usually catch me painting realistic and vibrant landscapes, but today I'm stepping way outside my comfort zone and challenging myself with something completely different. So in this video, I'm using oil paints to capture some of my absolute favourite childhood toys from the 90s as my first ever attempt of a still life painting. I've never done a still life painting before, so I knew I just couldn't wing it. So I took to Google and I did my research to find a composition that would work best for my 90s nostalgic toys. I really loved this triangular shape because it allowed a bigger toy to be the focal point of the painting right at the tip of that triangle. I knew I wanted to have a good light source, and I knew I wanted to have about 5 or 6 different toys that were all going to be harmonious together. So my next consideration was to think about the colour wheel and think about what toys would sit comfortably next to one another. I had a lot of red and green toys, and this was going to be really contrasting against one another, so I decided to use this as the main colours for my painting. And I wanted to use Rex because Toy Story has always been my favourite growing up, and Mario just sits perfectly next to him as a complementary opposite. I played around with so many different ideas, but this is the one that was the best. Mario, Rex, pencils, Power Ranger, and 5 dice displaying the date that I created this painting, the 5th of March, 26. I've been painting landscapes since 2020, but I wanted to try something completely new and different. I wanted to paint something that would be challenging and something that would teach me a thing or two about composition, colour mixing and storytelling through painting. At first, I wasn't really sure how I was going to do this or what I was going to paint, and then one day I was clearing out some old things and I came across a few toys from my childhood. Instantly, it brought back so many happy memories, and I remember seeing toys in a toy shop or flicking through a catalogue around Christmases and birthdays and hoping that I'd be lucky enough to open it as a gift. It was so magical and exciting back then when we were younger, and when I saw these toys over 25 years later, it brought back all these feelings as if it was only yesterday. And that's where the idea sort of came from. I wanted to learn about composition, and I'd never done that in still life painting before. I wanted to practice colour mixing, so this was going to be the perfect way to practice. And I wanted to do it through storytelling, things that I grew up with during the 90s and toys that I still have all these years later. Thinking back to that compositional triangle that we used, I knew that I wanted to use my favourite toy right at the tip of the triangle, and for me it's Toy Story. It's always been my favourite growing up, and I have the whole collection. I collected the toys, the films, the books, so I knew that I was either going to use Woody or maybe Rex right there in the centre. And then we have Mario Kart, and this is something that me and my family played every single year around Christmas, and we used it as a competition and it was a lot of fun. And I've got a glass jar of pencils. I've always had a creative side to me. I've always been interested in painting and drawing. And we've got Power Rangers, which my brother actually had an entire collection, which we would always play with. And lastly then, the dice. And these dice represent all the board games that we would play together as a family. And it was a strategic way that I could write the date of when I created the painting. Something that I found really interesting was how these toys are still very much alive today. Mario and Toy Story, they are coming out in 2026 as new films, and it just sort of brings it out to the new generation. It's something that lives on, and it helps our memories to live on too. These are the sort of toys that my parents would gift me, and now I find that I'm buying these toys for my nieces and nephews. And it's just amazing that although we live in different generations, we can have our own collection of our toys. I'm sure my nieces and nephews in 25 years to come is going to be feeling the way that I do and look back on those toys and think, I remember those memories. These toys are not just toys, they are moments in time, they are special occasions, they are gifts, and they are tokens of birthdays and Christmases. And this is why I really wanted to paint a still life painting of 90s nostalgic toys. I approached this painting like I would if I was painting a landscape, and that really is just blocking in, modelling, and then adding the finer details towards the end. So it's a 3-step process. And I found this to really help when painting this still life, because I could keep my shadows relatively thin and my highlights thicker for interest. And it also allowed me to adjust and correct parts of the painting as I progressed. As I'm painting, I don't normally listen to music or podcasts. It's just normally me in a very quiet room, and I find that really helps my concentration. So I'll probably be sitting at the desk concentrating on something like this for up to 8 hours a day, and in total this painting would probably take me about 60 hours. And that's a long time, so I make sure that I take loads of regular breaks to keep my mind fresh. And I definitely needed to keep fresh because I was painting quite difficult objects. I mean, I didn't really think too deeply into it when I chose a transparent jar to put my pencils in, but I really enjoyed doing it, and I really love the effect that it had shown. But this is me all over, I suppose. I just like to throw myself in the deep end and see if I can swim. And I think that teaches you more than anything. And when you finally do that thing that you thought was going to be really hard, you feel really proud of yourself, and it encourages you to keep pushing forward, and you feel more confident to try something hard the next time. I really enjoyed doing this still life painting, and I think I would want to do another one, but I just need a few ideas, so drop your ideas down in the comments box. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you back here for the next one.